So Angela, tell me about Soft Circuit Saturdays.
Okay, so Soft Circuit Saturdays is basically a collection of projects that I started doing in November last year. I've challenged myself to make something every weekend, and I reserve Saturdays for soft circuits and for researching and prototyping. Sometimes I get a project done in a day, sometimes it takes a couple days, but just trying to keep it fun and fresh and try new things. So here are a couple of the projects that I've done over the weekend.
So what about this guy?
This is a musical puppet. It's based on the Drawdio by Jay Silver. You can buy it as a kit.
Okay.
Usually you get it in a kit with a pencil and you can use the graphite to draw, but I soldered some snaps on there and made it into a puppet. So if you want to see. So there's the Drawdio. There's the Drawdio you can buy in the kit.
Yep.
And
that's available in the Maker Shed. Oh, and that's nice. It's snapped in.
So
that's very clever.
Snaps on there so I can put it into my sewing projects. Snap that right in. And then there's some conductive fabric and some conductive thread here, which is connected to one side of the Drawdio. And then these little tentacles have conductive fabric and resistors actually sewn in behind there.
Okay, so you get a different resistance for
tone.
each
It was
pad.
actually inspired by a project I saw on the Make blog called the Unruly.
Okay.
And they used pennies and resistors to make a little keyboard on a ruler. So I thought that was a great idea, and it turns out that like 100k ohm resistors makes a great little step between the pennies on that project. So I did that in each of these, and a different resistor at the top, so you get a little bit of a scale and you get an instrument out of it. So
that's neat. And then you've got also some jellyfish.
These are LED jellies. They're based on LED throwies, which I think many Make readers will know.
Oh yeah. They got magnets on the bottom.
They've got magnets inside there. It's basically an LED throwy that I put inside of this decorative case.
So after you're done with getting your Super Ball out of the supermarket,
I collect a lot of these, so it's good to have a use for them. There's just an LED throwy, and you can glue a magnet right in the bottom to hold them in place. And then you've got an instant little lamp.
That's clever.
And this is just some fabric, some batting for quilting, and some ribbon that I sort of unraveled to make a jellyfish. And you can find those on Instructables. You can search for LED jellies.
Okay. And sure, what do we got next?
This is a temperature sensing T-sleeve. This one's not functional. I didn't want to burn anyone today.
Okay.
But basically it uses a little sensor, temperature sensor that you can find from aniomagic.com. They sell kits, and it's sewable. There's the sensor right there, and you can have an output to high, normal, or low, and then I hook that to LEDs. So there's some conductive Velcro that acts as the switch. You turn it on.
So it's not on unless it's around a cup.
Right. And this is a little battery pack in there. You can use a really tiny coin cell battery to put in there. So the LEDs, they're bipolar LEDs. So they have a red, green, and you can mix and have yellow if you want. If it's too hot, it will shine red. So I know, don't stick your tongue in that. Don't drink that. I've burned myself a lot of times on green tea. It's very hot. And then when it cools down to the temperature you set it, you calibrate it for, they'll turn green. When it dips below that temperature, I just have them turn off. You could also sew in another LED or another function like that. It's really great. I'm more concerned about the too hot than the too cold.
Oh, that's neat. That's pretty fun.
And it works best with the disposable cups. If you use a mug, it doesn't get as much
has too much insulating.
It's too insulating. So if you drink a lot of Starbucks, that's good.
That's pretty clever. And then your book. I like your book.
This is a brand new thing I just started working on last week. And it's a soft circuit scrapbook. I've been collecting, I've been trying out a lot of methods that you can find on MakeZine, on CraftZine, through the MIT high-low tech group. They have a lot of great tutorials, and I've tried a bunch of things, but they just end up at the bottom of my toolbox, so I've been organizing them in this scrapbook. It has the name of the technique, the website that I found it at, any of the materials you need, and then this one has the battery pouches and what they look like inside. So if I bring my projects and I want to show how you can make it yourself.
Excuse me, sorry.
This is yes. This is a good way for people to see. Right, these are the websites that you can get these techniques from.
Yep.
These are my two my interactive pages that I've started. It's a way for me to store the sensors. These can actually snap out, so I can take it with me and start working on a project on the go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one's sewn in because a lot of people have been working with it today.
And then this is the battery.
That's the battery pouch with the battery in it. Some conductive thread to the LEDs, and this is a zipper sensor, which was from ITP's sensor workshop. They have a tutorial on how to make zipper sensors.
Okay.
So
and
when you zip it closed, it conducts those those threads. So I think Becky Stern actually used this sort of method for her TV Be Gone hoodie. She used the zipper sensor
so
to
when
turn
you zip it up to
right,
a certain height,
it's only on when it's zipped.
Yeah.
So that's a great use.
Yep.
This is just more examples of switches that you can make.
Yep.
And the battery pouch can just move right over there. This is a necklace clasp, magnetic clasp that you get for jewelry.
Yep.
And that can act as a switch. And this is some conductive Velcro like you saw in the other project.
So these are the possible techniques for switches.
Right, and I'm going to do more pages like this where you can have the components and you can take them away and use them, and also demonstrate them to people who might be curious. Here's the different threads that I've been collecting, and you can actually snap them off the page if I want to work on
and you
a
can
project.
start using it.
So if I wanted to do a project right now, I could take the thread and use it.
Oh, that's great. So you got a website?
I do. It's softcircuitsaturdays.com. I try to blog every weekend. I try to do something. If it's not a project or a tutorial that I'm trying, it's a roundup of different techniques. I just did one recently about what kind of soft circuit projects can you do outside if you want to enjoy the weather. And there's all sorts of things you can do, projects that you can use outside with solar, or that you can make outside. You can literally bring your thread outside and sew. You can bend your LEDs outside. You don't have to have a computer to do a lot of these techniques, and then you can bring them back to your studio and work on your project. So those sort of things.
That's great. All right, thanks a bunch.
We actually